Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, black people, white people, all my people, welcome to the best way to start your week off, and that is with the Sunday Rise and the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. I am the Midnight Rider. That is the Gentleman Jack. That is the correspondent in the screen. We're going to kick it with you today, take you through the sports world, give you some updates, cover a little bit of All-Star Weekend, cover a little bit of Jack's field trip, cover Daytona 500 and some golf. And with all that being said, welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. Fellas, how you feeling?
Nice. Doing good. It's my time of year, from now to the fall. Fairways and race days is what I call it. A lot of golf and a lot of NASCAR. So ready to get started.
And with that being said, let's go ahead and start this with we ended up with last night, and that was All-Star Weekend, the events from All-Star last night. We had Dame Lillard win the 3-point. What's the Miami kid? Keyshawn Johnson or something like that won the dunk contest.
Yeah,
actually G League.
Oh, he was?
He just got let down, I believe, right before he found out he was in the dunk contest, is what I heard last night.
Okay. All right, so let's start with that, man. All-Star Weekend. First initial thoughts, and then I'll ask another question after that.
I'll take this one first. I mean, I think the talk about All-Star Weekend right now is like what it wasn't. I felt like, the last 2 years, especially the dunk contest with Mac McClung winning back-to-back years, and you got Kenny the Jet Smith and Reggie Miller going crazy that the dunk contest is back. It's been revitalized. Man, this thing took a gigantic step backwards for me. Mm-hmm. First of all, it didn't look like many people were in the damn stands at all, So, yeah, I mean, for NBA's got some explaining to do. I don't know how we got here. I thought this thing had a little pep in its step, and some more stars were going to begin participating in the dunk contest, but that just hasn't.
Keith, you just hit something.
You hit a button there, bro.
You hit a button and lost your volume.
Might need to bounce out and bounce back in. That's what one of our guys had to do the other night. I can pick up where I thought he was as far as, the stars. The dunk contest is still no stars. But I felt the 3-point contest, the stars came out. You had Devin Booker, you had Dame, you had Con Canupo, the new rookie 3-point bomber. The only thing I think 3-point contest was missing was Steph. That would have been sweet. That's the thing, stars. I don't get why. I mean, some of them don't participate in this. This is what the fans want. The fans want to see. I mean, they're not going to see a LeBron out there now, but they want to see a high-flying Ant-Man or some of the kid from Philly, the VJ Edgecombe. He's a high flyer. They want to see that, but in the dunk contest, they're not seeing it. They haven't seen it. And I don't know if they're going to see it. But in the 3-point contest, now it's a little different. And I thought the 3-point contest was the best part of the All-Star festivities that were held yesterday.
That's starting to become a problem because every weekend we leave this weekend, we say that All-Star is, the 3-point is the one thing. And we almost say that it should be last now instead of one of the first events because of the star power and because of the people involved and enlisted in that. Go ahead, Keith, finish your point up.
No, I think I don't know where I cut off. Sorry about that, guys. I've been having some computer issues the last.
Talking about the amount of stars in each participating in the festivities is where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a nice arraignment of stars. At least satisfies my appetite in the 3-point contest, but the dunk contest, I honestly didn't know, but one of the dude from San Antonio is the only dude I knew. So, I mean, that's a problem. I know there's injury risks and things to be concerned about, and maybe some of these franchise or these GMs don't want their players participating in this, but the NBA can't hype this up and then let you down. They either you need to change it, take it away. Something's got to happen. So that was my thoughts on that. To see Dame back in that Portland jersey winning 3-point contest, I thought that was pretty cool. So
me too.
Yeah. So that's really all I had.
So I'm the person that's going to be the party pooper and say that if Dame didn't play a game, he shouldn't have been in the contest. It's like, come on, what are we doing? Like, I know we're struggling for stars, and we complain about stars participating, and I shouldn't be complaining about it. But I do have a partial issue if he's not playing or able to play. I think that should be somebody's opportunity to shine. Yeah, he can shoot it, but
he was able to shoot.
I think the guys that are active should have the ability to win the award, and not somebody coming off the sideline stealing the glory. That's the only thing I was worried about, and the only part I didn't like about Dame being involved. But I mean, that's just me. That's a me thing. It's not a thing with the league or anything like that. So I appreciate that. Keith alluded to this. Can we save it? Can we save All-Star Weekend?
Mm.
And this is just this part. We haven't even talked about the game yet.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned. I think it's on life support. I mean, someone needs to have a great idea or bring something to the table. They probably need to cut outside of the sports world and get some thoughts and ideas from somebody in another business to help try to get this thing over the hump. It just needs to be revitalized altogether. You see hockey's been doing, they've been doing the same thing. They've been doing, country against country. They're having all-stars pick their teams. Like, it's also, for me, not as good as it once was. So, I mean, if Jordan can do the dunk contest and Wilkins can do the dunk contest and those boys back in the day, people can do it now too. So it just needs to be important. They got to care about it,
Yeah.
So
I didn't even see the skills part, the part where they do the passing and the hustle and the shooting. Who won that, Midnight Rider?
I think the Harpers won that.
Ah, what a crew there. That's nice. They showed out. They was involved in the dunk contest as well. So the Harper name showed out. I give them dap on that.
This dunk contest when C. Perry II gave me the rundown of who was in the dunk contest, I said it's going to fall flat because you got a bunch of 6'8", 6'10" guys dunking.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the same. It's not going to have the flair. And last night, I went the whole entire dunk contest without getting out of my seat.
mm-hmm.
Like, normally, at least once, even in a bad dunk contest, you get a one or two where you gotta be like, oh my gosh. And I had none of that feeling the other day.
Yeah, you mentioned falling flat, Midnight Rider. My man Jace Richardson literally fell flat on the floor.
Yeah,
banged his head. That looked bad. So
yeah, the afro save him though, boy.
A little bit. Yeah. The hair helped some, but
you're right.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Perry has to say about this on Nothing But Net.
And
come Tuesday.
The dunk contest. It just you got your dunk coaches out there. You got your holding the ball coaches out there. I mean, come on, man. And as Keith said, and this is just old heads talking. When Neek was out there, when Mike was out there, it was all just up here, man. Wasn't no dunk coach.
Can I ask a question?
Say.
You mentioned the coach. Who are the white dudes that get to dap up the players right after the dunk?
Dunk coaches.
I literally wrote this down on my notepad. Like who
dunk coaches.
So short white dudes are the dunk coaches. Well, that's probably the problem. I mean, we need we need someone that. Come on, man.
Them two dudes that was by the rack.
Did they?
One of them I know is a dunk coach, huh?
Did they pay for that to be there courtside or something?
No, man. I'm sure the NBA player says, "Hey, I need my boy with me." Just like having your kids with you. I mean, yeah, that's what they were. I know one of them guys with the baseball cap on, dapping everybody up, was definitely a dunk coach. I forgot his name, but yeah, I mean, I don't see why you even need a dunk coach, man.
Hey, Perry, check your inbox. That question's on its way. So maybe you can answer that for me.
And I got from highly opinionated Josh Walker jumps in, says 3 of the best people in sports media. Thank you, sir.
Morning, Josh.
Accept those words kindly.
Morning, Josh.
And appreciate it. Let's I don't even want to do this, but all-star format. What did we getting? What are we watching tonight? How does this actually play out? So there's 3 teams: Stars, Stripes, and the World. The essential format is it's a 4-quarter game. Each quarter, there's going to be a game played in each quarter. That 12-minute window will feature 2 of the teams playing versus each other in a round robin tournament. So basically, I'll just go back to the way it's written here. 3 teams, 2 U.S., 1 World, 4 games, 12 minutes each. So each game is 12 minutes. It's a round robin. Each team plays the other 2. The championship game is the top 2 teams from the round robin. They meet in game 4. The all-star teams consist of 24 players, 12 from each conference, selected without regard to the format. To position, I'm sorry.
Right.
So, in saying all that, here's the rosters, here are the lineups. Team USA Stars is Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey. Nice little inside nugget here is Scotty Barnes and Cade Cunningham played together in high school. So they're former teammates from high school. Team USA Stripes: Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Kevin Durant, De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry. And then Team World: Vinny Avdia, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Norman Powell, Alperen Sengun, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And for the injured guys, here are the substitutes real quick. Sengun replaces Shai Gilgeous. Brandon Ingram replaces Steph Curry. De'Aaron Fox replaces Giannis, and Norman Powell moves to Team World. So that's our update on the rosters. Guys, what are we doing here? The format? We got 3 quarters being played as 3 1v1 games for each of these teams, and then the championship game being the best 2 teams, or the 2 teams that have the better record, playing against each other. What's your thoughts? Does this help? Will it be competitive?
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, down to the records. If the records somehow come up the same, point differential will be the tiebreaker. Ain't no rooks make this squad. I know they got the rookie versus a second-year game on with the festivities, but I thought there's a couple rookies that deserved a spot on one of these squads. I don't understand. You could have either had Con Knapple or Cooper Flagg on these teams. They're both having phenomenal rookie seasons. Your boy AJ over there in Philly, he's doing quite fine for a rook, but no rookies on this team. I guess, only Kobe's and players like that get to make this team as a rookie. I'm curious to see how it goes down with this whole the NBA versus the world format that they're kind of trying to incorporate here. I feel they got the NBA youngins and the NBA old heads, as KD has named them, righteously so. You'd think the older team would not be able to prevail, but these aren't normal basketball players here. This is tough. I think the international team might be the best team if you look at it. They got more. They got more. Two of their key players are injured. Is what sucks. You're not going to see 100% of this international team at full power. And I think with Shai and Giannis, you're losing MVP type players off your team, and you're adding, Sengun and Fox. Neither one of those are MVP type players to me. So that team got a little weaker with the injury situation. But yeah, I would go myself. Team World.
Team World.
Team Stripes. Team World, Team Stripes, then Team Stars is my ranking of the three. Nothing against the youngins on Team Stars. They do got some talent there. Book can cook. Cunningham can go to the hole. Jalen Duren has improved his game inside and out nowadays. Everybody knows what Ant can do. Holmgren, he's coming into his own. Maxey can score in bunches, but I just don't think they can hang with the Stripes team or the World team. I think the World team will win this. Keith?
I can't believe we're making picks on this because think about this. We had two teams that didn't want to play already. They got on the floor for All-Star game and didn't want to play. Now we got three. Are you telling me we got three? We got fucking three teams now instead of two playing. Look, this happens in the business world all the time. When you try too damn hard, you get diminishing returns. You lose creativity. I don't think this is going to work. Viewers are going to tune in and out. I just feel like this thing is going to be a mumble jumble thing all over the place. That's just I hope that's not. I hope it sticks. I hope it works. But again, I don't see why we need three teams. We didn't have two. Now we got three. So Midnight Rider.
Tell us how you feel, Keith.
No. Let it go, baby. Let it all hang out.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's out.
Hang out with your wango, as they say on this. Let it go,
I
man.
feel you. I see where he's at, though, man. The two teams didn't even hardly want to be there. Now we making three. It's funny. And you got to worry. What are these cats going to, what's their bodies going to do between games, Somebody going to tighten up, he tweak something. Oh, he got to sit out. How many cats we going to have playing in games 3 and 4?
Yeah, we need somebody to hit up the comments with their opinions on this format, see what they think as well.
Let's hear MR.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, man, I'm kind of in the same boat with Keith. Why we got three teams? Why we got to spread this out? Like, let's just play the game, roll the ball out there like we used to do. Two teams, 12 on each side. Stop being cute about it, but people got to actually want to play. And I think the interesting dynamic, because everybody's talking about Wembanyama, and his play style. And maybe he's the person that everybody's been thinking, oh, he will be the difference maker in people playing with effort. But the problem is, like, have some pride. Jesus, like, just have some pride. Like, when you step on the court, like, it should be a thing. Like, I haven't seen anybody get picked up full court since Kobe picked up LeBron in that game. And it's just like love the game. If you love the game the way you say you love the game, then this should be the way you play it. You shouldn't need three teams and 2 quarters and then you got to play a championship game and no.
Yeah.
It should be East, West, put your blue, put your red, put your white, whatever it is.
Yep.
And let's play ball.
Money made them love the game a little less, man. It's a money thing.
Maybe it is, but it just doesn't make sense to me that we take a game that's meant to be, in the words of Keith, 2 teams, and now we got 3 teams, and now we got an extra team that don't want to play and don't want to participate. So now we're gonna fight that out and have some cockamamie championship game in the 4th quarter, because that's when they're gonna want to put the effort in, because this is the championship, I guess. Just doesn't make sense, man. Now we're gonna have one score 22-15 for the first quarter, then 27-17 for the second quarter, and 24-14. So we have 4 box scores in this ball game.
Yeah,
How do I even bet this? Like,
I don't know.
On this?
that's a good question.
Over.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Like you got the way you have to bet this game probably is by each quarter, and depending on if they haven't figured out who's playing who during those quarters, that's
Right.
probably you're over.
Yeah.
And that sounded sounded like such a degenerate just there, but that's the way it is. Like you don't get total scores. Like how do you like? I'm sorry, man.
I don't get it, man. They got
Gambling. When you mess with the gambling part of this, is when I get frustrated because now you got to put bets in for who's gonna have the most threes in a quarter.
Yeah,
I don't get it, right? I'm looking at BetMGM right now, and today 5 p.m. USA Stars versus USA Stripes. Stripes favored by 2.5. It's got the over under at 82.5. They're not scoring that in 12 minutes.
The way they don't play defense, they might.
Oh, man, they ain't scored 400 in the game yet. And then, you go down here to the USA Stars. I can't tell if it's the Stars or the Stripes because it's abbreviated. But the world's favored by 2.5 in that one, and the world's favored 2.5 against the Stripes. So I don't get. I'm not laying nothing on this games. I'll tell you that straight up. I like my money. And then tournament winner, of course. The favorite right now looks like
probably the world.
The world by a small margin. Yes. Tournament MVP. Victor Wembanyama is favorite. Then Jaylen Brown. Then Cade Cunningham. This is BetMGM, as I say. Let's see what else they can bet on. I don't know. I don't like what I see. So, yeah, JC going to be on the college tip today.
All right, guys. Anybody got anything else before we move on from this terrible thing that is the NBA All-Star game?
it didn't used to be
Awesome.
terrible. That's it used to be box office, must see TV. I used to have when the dunk contest. I used to have a party every year at my house, and my boys would come over and we'd watch the dunk contest. You know what I mean?
How long ago was that, bro? 15 years, 20 years?
Yeah, that was probably 2008, 9, 10
Right.
in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Now we used to, me and J Dub, he lives in South Carolina, but we'd sit there and talk on the phone and watch the dunk contest together.
Yeah.
I had no interest last night. I just accidentally turned it on. Like, oh yeah, dunk contest, perfect timing. And then after I watched it, I was like, Jesus, that was a waste of time. I mean, I didn't like Keith said, I didn't know half the guys. I mean, yeah, if you're all up in the NBA like that, you probably would. I knew the Johnson kid a little bit, and then you get your, what is it, two-peat or three-peat champion Mac McClung. Wasn't it three-peat?
Thought it was
I think
2.
he's 2. I think he's
24.
2.
Okay,
Could've
so 2 could have went 3. It was Dame that got three times for that. But you get Mac McClung to bow out, and I know there's much more involved in this because I've heard around the league and from my sources that Mac McClung's getting blackballed and dicked in this G League NBA stuff. Got guys in G League, coaches in G League saying Mac is putting in the work, Mac is producing enough to be an NBA player. But the NBA just wants to hold on to him for his stardom on NBA weekend. Well, I'm glad Max said, take it. I'm good, bro. And he's just going to keep working on his game. Have y'all heard anything like that?
So it's funny you bring that up because this morning in my bouts with not sleeping in the middle of the night, there was this great interview with Matt McClung. I think he took a year. I forgot what year it was, where he didn't actually dunk for the whole season because he got tired of just being known as a dunker. So he literally took the one season and just did shooting and everything else. I can't sit up here and lie to you and say I thought Matt was great because I didn't like him at Georgetown. I thought he was a heist box. I thought he was the volume scorer at best. Like he got his numbers because he took his shots. So I won't stay here and lie to you about that. The kid, he says, he doesn't want to be just known as a dunker. So that's why he didn't participate in this dunk contest, because he decided to take some time to himself and just not do it. I mean, this kid sprouted up from like 5'6" to whatever height he is now over a summer, and was able to touch the rim and just took it from there. I remember seeing the tapes of him in high school. I remember seeing the post on YouTube or on Twitter, and then even with him playing at Georgetown, when I saw him at Georgetown, I was just like, it's just something didn't rub me right about his game. And that year, Georgetown struggled tremendously because he could score, but nobody else touched the basketball, it seemed like. Let me see what we got here comment-wise. I know some people jumped in with us. Here we go. Matty Ice says the Stars don't want to be there anymore. It's why the dunk contest died.
Agree.
Good morning, Peeps from J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's right. And Mike McClung had his fame was created, by the dunk.
Right.
From middle school on up. And he was at Georgetown. I think he finished off at Texas Tech Red Raiders.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right.
So, he never really worked on his fundamentals of passing and getting teammates involved, because in high school, he was the shooter, the man, the scorer. And when he got to Georgetown, they didn't have much else to work with there. But I've heard that he really has been working on all aspects of his game, really trying to get a contract. So he's hit some 10 days here and there, and some short-term contracts here and there, but he's never latched on to a solid contract. And, there's a lot of work involved in getting a contract like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think his biggest problem is he's an absolute liability on the defensive side of the floor, and his offensive prowess just doesn't supersede that in any way. I mean, he's a mismatch on the other side of the floor, and I think that's the problem where he can't stick. And he's probably getting put in a box a little bit, like you said, Jack, kind of, you're this dunk guy and that's all. And he understands that, and he's putting in the work. I just think at this point he's 27. It's such a limited resource on the defensive side of the floor that he's probably not going to get too much more NBA playing time, unfortunately.
So we always talk about it, like sometimes when you're not the guy, you got to be a guy. And I think his problem is he's not able to be a guy right now because there's too many limitations to his game, like Keith is saying. He wants somebody to be a good role player, but unfortunately, the role player that he is just isn't sticking. He doesn't have a role because there's already somebody as the 6th man. There's somebody at the 7. Now he's got to fit in somewhere between 9 and 12, and really doesn't benefit him, being 9 to 12. So that's where I see that issue coming up and being a thing. Guys, we got anything else on this topic before we make a transition?
Let's transition.
All right, so first let's take a quick break. And then after the quick break, we'll come back and we'll jump into JC's, the Gentleman Jack's field trip. Being said, we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That is Mothership, the big pillar of the station, the WrestleManiacs. I know there's a nice conversation going on in the background where our fellas, Coach Drip and Company in Moco County, I think it's the Four Corners of the Ring is what they're called. Don't get me, I don't want to mess it up, so I'm not going to stick to that. But I know they want to collab some way, somehow with the WrestleManiacs and create a monster show. But with that being said, hey, welcome back. Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. And we do this thing where sometimes there's a certain fellow on the show, he goes out and the gentleman has a field trip. So the gentleman Jack.
Oh, looky here.
Has a field trip. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all get ready to sit with Uncle Jack and let him tell us about his field trip.
Very nice, MR. Very nice. I saw you did something new over in the settings, but I wasn't going to spoil it. I wanted to see it fresh off the press. Thank you, sir. Well, you know, the JC field trip hoopty was rolling this weekend, or I should say this week, excuse me. I headed to Baltimore, Maryland to see a team that I've been wanting to see for some time. And I hadn't been in the building since, what was his name? Luke Garza was the MVP of the crab ball. Ooh, he's in the league now. So it had to have been 6-7 years ago. So St. Francis Academy, man, Baltimore, Maryland, they got an amazing gymnasium, man. It's just big and spacious. So this game here matching up St. Francis Academy versus Archbishop Spalding, two of the powers in the MIAA. St. Francis is actually ranked number 2 in the state, and Spalding at the time was ranked number 9 in the state. So St. Francis came out strong in the first half, despite a strong start for Spalding senior guard Cam Carter. Cam Carter, he's a scorer. He finished the game up with 18 points. St. Francis ended up taking a 41-33 lead in at the half. And it was just back and forth basketball. A quick start by St. Francis. But Spalding came out strong to start the third quarter with great scoring from sophomore star Braxton Bogart and Nash Avery. Both of them phenomenal sophomores rising. Bogarts had 15 points. Avery finished with 19. They ended up taking the lead on St. Francis to end the third quarter, and that was pretty impressive. The way they managed to take that lead and continue to fight that high-scoring St. Francis offense. St. Francis junior guard Terrence Jones, 17 points with 5 3-pointers, and senior guard Carter Fisk with 13 points, and then senior guard Anthony Smith, 13 points. They came out to play in the fourth and said, look, you in our house. They traded leads all the way till the last 14 seconds of the game. And St. Francis put up a 3 and ended up taking a 3-point lead. Timeout. Spalding set up a play. They did manage to get a shot off, but that 3-point jumper just came up just short, hit the front of the rim. St. Francis clinched the victory over them. As I said, 66-63. Tremendous matchup. An amazing amount of D1, D2, D3 talent out there. It was just talent on top of talent. Anyone out here gets a chance to go see either of these schools play, St. Francis or Archbishop Spalding, you're in for a treat. So that was my Thursday night field trip. Then I went out to see some Friday night hoops.
Hold on.
Go
Before
ahead,
you
sir.
go further, let's talk
Yeah,
about
what you
the
got?
Spalding game. Because
Sure.
Spalding St. Francis, I saw the thing. I saw the 66-63. But tell us about the kids. I know you were able to get some interviews and have some conversations. Talk about the guys that you were able to talk to. Did you talk to the coaches? Give us that background information before you move on.
Yes, sir. Definitely. St. Francis, as I usually do pregame interviews, get there a couple hours early, hang with the team, watch the JV game with the team. That way I get the feel of the team and the guys. It makes the interviews a little easier. St. Francis coach says, nah, we don't do it like that over here. Post-game interviews only. So the difference in covering a game, if you're doing pre-game interviews versus covering a game doing post-game interviews, you really got to pay attention to the game and not just be there taking videos and pictures. Because, if you want some decent questions after the game, you got to know what happened in the game. I had a blast. Coach just put me and these 3 young men in their, I guess it would be called their media room, because it had the background like you see the NFL and NBA players, with the St. Francis and their sponsors on it. It was tight. Had a place for my tripod to set up. And we was in there cutting up for at least 15 minutes before I took the first interview, man. Just cracking on the game. One of the guys passed to the wrong guy, so we busted his chops about that. And then by the time the interviews came, man, we couldn't stop laughing. So I really had a great time with junior guard Terrence Jones. I think Terrence was 5 of 8 from three-point land, if my numbers are pretty close. And his jumper was just so sweet. And it was 3 guards that led this team. There wasn't as much height on the St. Francis team as I predicted. Spalding got hyped. Avery Nash, one of the best players in the state, maybe even the top in the country for Spalding. That boy, he's just all world. He's probably hanging around 6'8" and big hands. And I felt bad because I had seen Spalding play at their place a few weeks ago and did interviews with Avery Nash and Braxton Bogart as well. So to see him after the game in a little dejected way of feeling, kind of, but I ended up dapping him up, getting a couple still pics with him, and told him I'd check him out and play out. So it was really great. These 2 teams have some great young men playing for them. I mean, call you sir, call you coach. Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, it was tremendous working with the kids from these 2 programs, Midnight Rider.
I got a question for you, Jack. You mentioned high quality of play that you saw in the St. Francis Spalding game. Any commitments that you're aware of? Anyone already got college on their mind or have been recruited that you're aware of?
Nothing right offhand I'm aware of. The St. Francis kids said they're still weighing their options. The 2 studs over at Spalding are still sophomores. Got some small stuff coming in, but usually the bigger offers don't start coming in until junior, senior year. That's a good question, Keith, because I've been including that in some of my interviews here recently. I don't think I asked it in this game, but it's about that time of year, and I will try to find out some commits for you here in my future visits. Definitely, Keith.
Also, last question: how is it that you've been doing this for a while? You're growing some your brand with these high school visits. It's some serious traction. How is it to feel like people wanting you to come? People like knowing who you are once you get there. How's that changed maybe in the last 3 to 6 months?
Beginning of basketball season, we had some recognition from the bit me, Midnight Rider, and a few of us covered in football at the end of the season. So it's nice to hear the buzz when you're there. And I got on my gear nowadays. I'm suited and booted, so I don't have to tell people who I am. They see it. And I do. Sometimes I hear, gentlemen, you just hear shit, right? And then the coaches, they love it. They want all the exposure they can get for their program. And that's what the coaches and the ADs are saying at every school I go to. I appreciate you. Thanks for the exposure. I was sitting next to a parent. It was an Annapolis parent at the Annapolis Crofton game I went to Friday night. And he knew I was with a podcast, but he wasn't sure, and he was watching the game, so I didn't pester him. And then I mentioned Midnight Rider, our guy, Ed Bergeron, the referee that's been refereeing for over 35 years. He was calling the game. So I mentioned to this parent, hey, I'm from the Eastern Shore. That referee right there, he's 35-year official from the Eastern Shore as well. He's been on my show. And then the guy's like, hold up, you from the Eastern Shore? what's that podcast called they got over there? What's that podcast called? I'm like, In the Passenger Seat? He's like, yeah, that's the one. Swear to God. I was like, oh, wow. So it happens something similar like that every other game. Yeah, Keith, it is definitely growing. I definitely expect by football season next year, people going, no. We might even see some Gentleman Jack banners up in the crowd or something. Some sideline junkies up there. You know what I mean? Midnight Rider, you got anything else before I bounce to Friday night?
I'm trying not to get mute monstered.
Please.
Nah, let's go ahead and let's hit Friday night. Let's see what happened Friday.
So Friday night, jump in the truck, man. Had to put in some jams and stuff. Friday night, just got paid, going to some hoops. I was ready. I was in a good mood. I had my Gatorades, my towel, my video equipment. Let's throw it over the shoulder. Let's go to Crofton. Crofton's a spot I'm very familiar with, guys. I lived in Crofton probably 8 years before I moved over here to the shore. I was involved in some youth athletics over there and could throw some names around enough to, as Keith says, get me in trouble. But you had Crofton. I had a parent or a fan or somebody from the Crofton program reach out to me and say, you got to come see this cat, rebounds like no others. And they were talking about Dylan Schaefer from the Crofton Cardinals, and he is coached by his father, Tom Schaefer. Tom was great. Tom took the time when I got there. I mean, he was. I told him I'd be there at 4:30. I got there at 4:25, and he was right there at the front door where they collect money, waiting for me. And I said, "You must be Coach." He said, "You must be Jack," and we hit it off from there, dude. So he asked me, what you need from me. And right now, my microphones are kind of on the blink, on the fritz. So I need quiet. I definitely need quiet. So he took me to his classroom, dude. Shut the door, erased all the plans off the dry erase boards, and bam, set up in there. Did the same thing that I try to do if I have the time. Sit there and cut up with the guys and the coach for a minute. Unless I get time to sit there and say, hey, coach, what's this kid about? What's this kid's strength? You got it. You just can't. I'm not Crystal Ball Jack. So the part I love just cutting it up, having fun, laughing. And we did that 15, 20 minutes. And then we got the interviews going. So it was awesome that coach could get me into a classroom because it was pretty loud at this school. And this school is new. Crofton High School is probably 6 to 8 years old. They needed it bad because anybody lived in that area either went to a crowded Arundel, an overcrowded South River, or an even crowded Annapolis. Because Annapolis is only 8 to 9 miles down the road from Crofton High School. You go right down, I think it's Davidsonville Road, and you go over there to Annapolis. So, I'm going to get right down to this matchup. Both of them are in the lower level of their division in Anne Arundel County basketball. They're both sub 500, I believe. Annapolis came out with a plan to shut down Crofton's lead scorer, Will Frost. Frost was held to 5 first-half points. So I feel Annapolis game plan worked a little bit. But Dylan Schaefer stepped up to carry Crofton through the first with rebounding and scoring. Crofton went into the half up 28-18, but it could have been much worse. Crofton held Annapolis's leading scorer, Grady Roberts, to just 8 points for the entire game. Grady Roberts averages 18 a game, so Crofton's defense did a great job shutting him down. While senior Calvin Smith led the way with 15 points for the Panthers. Once Frost was able to get free on offense and the three-pointers started falling, Frost was rolling. He had 4 threes on the day, finished with 17 points, 3 points off his 20-point Anne Arundel League high average. And Dylan Schaefer, I didn't count all the rebounds. I said to myself, I want to count the rebounds this kid gets, but I know it was more than 10. Okay, so he had a double-double with 19 points and over 10 rebounds, and they were able to put the Panthers away in the second half, 68-47. So the Panthers, they were led by Calvin Smith with 15 points. So that was a good game in the first half because I was really watching how both teams were trying to shut down each team's leading scorer. And it was the way you teach. Stay with him. I don't care if he goes to the bathroom. Stay with him. And it was no lie. I mean, no matter where those two boys went, there was always one or two opponents in his pocket. And I like that part of the game, that they stayed true to shutting down the leading scorer. But it was like Crofton's Robin to their Batman was stronger than Annapolis's Robin to their Batman. And Dylan Schaefer was able to just cover the points that Will Frost wasn't able to get in the first half, and it really showed. So, yeah, I enjoyed myself over there in Crofton. The hospitality was great. The fans were great. The cheerleaders was on point. I mean, they never took a break. Them cheerleaders was on the baseline the entire game. And I like that because I'm rolling the baselines, the sidelines. I'm all over the place. You know me. Anything you guys got about this Annapolis Crofton matchup or any high school ball coming up?
Just more of a general question, because when you highlight these games and you give us these updates, which are really, really comprehensive, so appreciate that. You talk about coaching almost every matchup. You know, how impressed are you with the high school level of coaching that you're seeing? You've been to a bunch of games. I don't know, do you see a big variance in, you know, the coaching abilities or skill sets, or is it pretty high level across the board overall?
I'm very impressed. Like Coach Schaefer from Crofton. He's been with these boys since they were 9 years old. You know, when you start coaching club ball and rec ball, and you know, Schaefer's been here 3 years, and it's been the 3 years since his son's been on the squad. And that's what happens a lot too. These travel coaches come up with the kids and then say the high school doesn't really have a solid coach in place. They might take these travel or these AAU coaches on their success they've had and figure it can be rolled into the program. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's just a talent thing. And, you know, in the AAU and the travel ball circuit, some cats are picking and choosing which showcases or tournaments they go to. So you can't really judge it on the success of their travel or AAU team. But I am impressed with the coaching. And I've seen everything from number one in the country with McNamara girls. And I've seen, you know, mid-level schools like Annapolis and Crofton. And I've been out, well, South River is moving up, but I've been out to South River. Yeah, all the coaches are, I'm not saying surprising me, but are top notch.
Go ahead, Amar.
So what's the you know what? I don't want you to pick your favorite kid. What I want you to do is, on this journey, what's the game so far? Like, if you had to pick game of the year, what would your game of the year be? So far of the Jack Field series.
Well, I've had one overtime game that I've attended, and I've had one game that I've attended that went down to the last shot. So it's got to be those two, man. The McNamara Elizabeth Seton game from last week and the St. Francis Spalding game, no doubt, man. Second half, I was having a hard time taking pictures and videos because I wanted to sit down, eat my popcorn, you know. It was great. Yeah, I'd have to say the girls' game between McNamara and Elizabeth Seton and the Annapolis Crofton game. But then I did like that Meade South River game. And if you want to ask me who's one of my favorite players, it's going to be Nash Avery, probably from Spalding, and Keon over at Meade. Oh, what's Keon's last name? Keon over at Meade, he's the defending Anne Arundel County Player of the Year.
Okay.
And he is only a junior, and he's the defending Player of the Year. I love Keon's game. I wish I had his last name at my fingertip. But, yeah, I don't have a problem saying who my favorites have been so far. It's going to be Nash Avery and Keon over there at Meade. And I enjoy both of their coaches, too. You can't go wrong with either one of them. The legendary coach Mike Glick is at Meade. And then one of his puppies he released from the pen, Josh Pratt. He's in the pen with Mike Glick over there at Meade. Mike Glick's almost like the Andy Reid over here in Maryland high school basketball. There's so many guys that came off the Mike Glick tree. So yeah, I'm loving the relationships, the introductions, and just being at these ball games and being around these young men. When I was sitting in there cutting up with them kids Friday night, man, I felt like I was 20 years old again, man. It's awesome. And you know, clearly they know I'm just an old dog, but they don't treat me like that. It's really fun. They know I know what I'm talking about. When I told them that Meade lost to Severna Park on Wednesday night, they didn't even know that. So they're like, "What? Where'd you find that out?" So I can communicate and shoot the breeze with anybody that wants to talk Maryland high school basketball right now. I don't have a problem with that. So excited for the spring sports to come soon, MR.
All right. So one thing I forgot, and we forgot on Monday, but the player of the week last week was for a player of the week was Hakeem Oyekin from Laurel High School. The
Get that game winner.
Yeah, this kid's doing some things over there at Laurel, man. Coach sent it to me. I apologize to Coach because I was supposed to have this out Monday, but I know on Sunday and it's gone a little forward. But I just want to give the kids some love because that's what we do here. And speaking of that, of course, we have Pretenders or Contenders tomorrow night, 7 p.m. And then we also have a little show that comes on at 5 p.m. And if you guys don't mind, here's a little quick break and let's talk. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show, Mondays, 5 p.m. Showtime, Sarah, Matty Ice, Scooter, Tiberius Jenkins, or as everybody calls him, Scott Rivette, all just there for Monday on and giving you information. And I know they're going to do a great presentation of the men's and women's hockey for this Olympics that's going on, and they're going to give you the rules and how this is going to shape out because I think it reseeds every time they play. Jack, I saw your hand up. Go ahead before I move on.
Thank you. I just didn't want to put any news out there without the gentleman's last name. The young man over at Meade, Keon Scott. That's the junior guard over there that's reigning player of the year, Anne Arundel. He's a breeze to watch. The boy scores so quietly that you like, where that 20 come from? He just slashes, dashes, gets points where he needs to, gets to the line and makes them. That's something I'm seeing a lot of here in this high school ball is a lot of missed foul shots, man. I don't know whether they're working on 3-point sets because there's actually 3-point, how should I say this? 3-point warm-ups done. You know how you start the game with a layup line, maybe tapping on the board, maybe. They do pass down low, fake the layup, kick it out for 3. That was a 3-point line drill they were doing. So foul shooting has not been as great as I would like it to be. I'm sure the coaches. So that's what I see
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we debut one of the most electrifying segments in the world. We go to a place. They say in that song, "Take me to another place, take me to another land."
Another land.
That place in that land is called the Correspondent Corner. And I got Mr. Keith Hodges, the correspondent, will lead you and guide you in only the way he can. And I think our first topic, which way you want to go first? You want to do, let's go this way because this is a better story. Let's talk golf.
All right, so yeah, let's first of all, I'm gonna be on drive time tomorrow night with Sarah and Scooter. I think Maddie might be on assignment, maybe he's gonna be on, but we are gonna talk about the 500, which we'll get into here in a few minutes.
Oh, Scooter's gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, I think we'll have some fun. I think it'll be really cool. So no, real quick, we've talked about the Live Golf League on this channel quite a bit. At least I have. Something pretty significant happened overnight while we were all sleeping. Some of us participating in devious acts, I'm sure. But overnight in Adelaide, Australia, remember that city from our friend.
Yes,
that's where he's from. Well, Live had their very first event of the year.
Brad Craddock.
Over the weekend. Anthony Kim, I don't know if you guys have heard that name before, but he was a young prodigy, guys, in the golf world in the late 2000s. Last time he won an event was 2010. Well, yesterday he went toe to toe. He was in the final group in the Adelaide Live event with John Rahm and Bryson.
DeChambeau.
You got to.
DeChambeau. Oh,
you want that?
Oh, I wanted that. I tried to.
Oh, you get Bryson DeChambeau.
So anyway, guys, to finish this, he shot a 9 under 63 yesterday. He drained about every putt he could. It is an unbelievable comeback story. This guy was down and out. He had incredible substance abuse issues. He just started playing again 2 years ago. People didn't know where he was. He was off the grid, living out of his car in a gutter. It's pretty phenomenal. If you get a chance to watch it, every player in that golf league, give me 1 second, in that golf league came and congratulated him after because they know what he's been through. And this is going to be an incredible 30 for 30 event once someone puts that together. Go ahead, Jack.
So this on ABC last night or NBC, am I correct?
No, this was on FS1, I believe.
It was on last night. It was late night, 11 o'clock or so.
No, I think they were replaying Pebble Beach.
Yep.
Okay.
Which we'll get into.
I saw something. I thought it was that. Okay.
So any questions on Anthony Kim before we move forward?
If I remember Anthony Kim, he was a superstar. He had back problems. And then the back problems would curtailed him. And then life happened. And
he got on the pain pills. And then that just graduated to other things. And he went down a dark road. He's only 3 years sober. He's 2 years back playing golf. And to hear everyone talk about it, he's really put the time and the work in. Guys, just real quick, there was a qualifier for Live that he had to birdie the last hole just to get into the qualifier for a chance to play another tournament to get into Live, a pre-Live.
Wow.
So it's pretty remarkable. Kudos to him. Live kind of needed a little something. This isn't sustainable for Live, obviously. It almost feels, set up in a way. Like they just needed a story to tell, and it's out there. The kid put in the work, and he's being today he's being showered and given his flowers as he should.
He's not the kid that's on the Juniper Links team, is he? The simulated team?
No.
There's a Kim on that team, right?
They don't let Live players on TGL.
I didn't think so.
What's that?
There's a Kim on that team, right?
His name's Tom Kim. Yeah.
Tom. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they let Live guys. I didn't think they did, but I was just trying to put the pieces together.
Those guys are still kind of shunned. And then also, let's really quick. This only take a second. today's the final day of the AT&T Pro-Am tournament out in beautiful Pebble Beach, California. They've moved up all the tee times up 2 or 3 hours, expecting some really, really bad weather there. Akshay Bhatia. Speaking of a young phenom, he when he was a teenager, he was proclaimed one of the next big things. He's starting to develop into that. He's got a 2-shot lead going into today. I don't know if you guys saw any of the clips from yesterday, but when they were finishing up their last hole, it was so windy, 35 mile an hour winds. The golf ball is just spinning on the green, and they would mark it. It would roll away. It's pretty wild. So wind and the weather is going to be a huge factor, I should say, in this. Colin Morikawa is 2 strokes back. He's lurking. He's got experience, obviously, in big signature event golf tournaments like Pebble Beach.
Yeah, I like Colin.
Yeah, he's been struggling. He's one of the best iron players in the world. He's been struggling as of late. Looks like he's picking his game up right where leading into these majors here, starting in April.
Nice.
All right. So next up, and I think it's the bee's knees it's the big event. It's the Super Bowl of the auto racing community. We have the Daytona 500 coming up, and we got to talk about it. You are our resident expert when it comes to this. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise, and right now we are residing in the Correspondent's Corner. So, with that being said, correspondent, take it away. Daytona 500.
Yeah, I would challenge you. Scooters knows NASCAR, and so does Sarah. Actually, Showtime Sarah pretty well. So I think we got a pretty collective group here. But yeah, not too many sports start off with their crown jewel event to start a season. You know what I mean? Which is interesting. All the cards are on the table face up when you start your season. It's pretty unique. But yeah, today is the 68th Great American Race. It's Daytona 500. It's NASCAR. It's Daytona Beach, Florida. Also, weather is going to impact this, guys, as well. This race has been moved up 1 hour from 2:30 to 1:30. So if you got your TVs on now, programming has already started. Obviously, you guys know the iconic 2.5 mile oval, which makes Daytona kind of what it is. Some of the quick storylines for today's race before I throw it back to you guys. William Byron is going for the first three-peat ever in the history of the Daytona 500. Unfortunately, he's starting in the back at 39th place. He had a wreck during qualifying, so he's got to go to the back of the pack. Another noteworthy nugget here is Denny Hamlin. I mean, no one's had a more tumultuous offseason than Denny. I was on here, in the offseason talking about would Denny race this year? What was that going to look like? He's had lawsuits. He's had, family. His father passed away. He had the heartbreak of the championship last year. So keep an eye on Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin starting 22nd today. And then we've got Team Penske. They have 2 great drivers in Logano and Blaney. They'll be up front. They always perform well in the Daytona 500. We've got Kyle Busch on the pole. No pole winner has won the race since 2000, I believe. So challenges there for him. There's a lot of fans. He's a guy that's gone from sort of from a heel to a good guy to a baby face these last couple of years. So people are rooting for him. So I'll throw it to you guys. When you Daytona 500, either a driver or a car or a track, what makes you when I say Daytona 500, what do you think of? Midnight Rider?
So I mean, I appreciate you throwing it to me first because
me too.
Cale Yarborough was a guy. I think he drove the 28 car, if memory serves me correctly. He was one of the guys that I grew up. Bill Elliott in the 9 car. Of course, we had the tragedy that was Dale Sr. And getting Michael Waltrip across the finish line. God, man, you talk Daytona 500. I think of Denny Hamlin. He's one of the guys. Joe Gibbs Racing does a good job. They may not start in premium positions, A guy that I'm really curious about today is a man that's walking back into something that he kind of left, and that's Jimmy Johnson. I'm curious at what Jimmy Johnson is going to do. I think he's driving the 84 car or something like that. I may be off on the car number, but that's going to be curious to me. But I think I like, and I know you have, no, you know what? I'm going to wait. So, yeah, that's the ones that stick out to me.
Okay. How about you, Jack?
Well, you know, what comes to my mind when I think Daytona 500, it's old school, man. It's Richard Petty, boy. The red, white, and blue car. How can you not? I believe it was a Dodge, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Keith? Petty drive a Dodge?
Yeah, like a Super Bee or something. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those, yeah, with the fin on the back. But that's what I think of. And, you know, Cal Yarborough, senior, as everybody knows. I mean, it just goes back to, and I always think, I forget the announcer, say, boogity, 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 boogity. I always think of that.
Darrell Waltrip.
Waltrip. I always think of that when I hear NASCAR, you know, I'm really, boogity, boogity, who's your driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Busch used to be my driver for a while back and whatnot. And I think Midnight Rider's waiting on maybe our predictions, so I'm going to wait as well.
Yeah, wait as well. Throw it back to me. I got a couple things. So first thing for me, when it comes to the 500, I just go back to being a young kid. My father was a musician, so he took great pride in having good like stereo equipment, you know, and stuff. So when the 500 came on, he was not shy about turning it up loud. And, you know, that was before they did the, you know, they just focused only on the sound of the cars, but you could still hear them whizzing by. So he really appreciated that. And I loved all the colors on the track. I'm a very visual person, visual learner. So, you know, these cars got artwork all over them. You know what I mean? So that was really something that took, you know, taken to me. And then like in my 20s, you know, being friends with Chris Bate, Tracy Paragoy, they were huge in that car. I mean, Chris Bate wore Earnhardt jacket, shirt every day for a long time. So, yeah, I was a 28 Texaco Havoline Ernie Irvan guy. He'll tell you. Hopefully he's listening, or we'll send it to him. So, yeah, they really got me back into it, and I've never kind of let go since. So
that's funny you say that because my guys Wayne Vickers and Nick Vetrano, we used to do a league at work. This was like early 2000s, the same time frame. We did a fantasy NASCAR league. So each week you were going in and out of the week, picking drivers and picking up people, and like you got your driver, you know, you had your guys, you know, yeah, Jeff Gordon was the man, but you know, I was, you know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove the Budweiser car, or like I fell in love with the guys that drove the cars. I can't think of my guy that, I don't want to say the wrong name, but there was a guy that used to drive the Crown Royal car. I don't know if that was Blakely or not.
Bush, wasn't it?
Nah, it wasn't Bush. Bush drove.
I used to have a Crown Royal NASCAR.
That was Matt Kenseth.
Okay,
Matt Kenseth.
Yep.
So yeah, my drinking association did a lot with who I was fans of as drivers. Yeah. God, who else did I used to love?
Drinking association. I did.
What else? Who else? I mean, it's Bubba Wallace is a guy that I love just because of his transition, and you know, it's the beauty of NASCAR is it's not something you normally do. Especially for me as an African American, that's not our sport. That's not a sport we.
It is more than you think, though. It is way
Tell
more.
Mike that down south.
No, and that's what I was about to say. Yeah. You guys are totally saying what I was about to say. Yeah, like it's weird because we are into it more than people think. You know, I always joke with people. I tell people, you know, I'm a country city boy, because I like certain things like that. You know, I like NASCAR. You give me a NASCAR event, I can sit here and watch, laps on tops of laps, going around the thing, and I know Darlington, and I know, all these different places because I've invested so much time into it.
Yeah.
Not me.
All right, so real quick, before we make
Go
our
ahead.
picks, I'm just going to kind of set the table just a touch, like just a few notable drivers and kind of where they're starting and a little footnote regarding them. So Chase Briscoe was on last year's poll. All right, he's starting in the 2 slot right there on the outside. He races for JGR, Joe Gibbs Racing. So keep an eye out for him. Kyle Larson, last year's regular season champion. He's yet to win a 500. He needs this to sort of complete his Triple Crown, or whatever you want to call it. He needs that
NASCAR Slam
for his legacy. He's starting.
Before you go on, Keith.
Yeah.
Explain to the people the outside and on the inside, those terms, because we want our fans to understand what we're talking about when we say things like that.
Well, the starting grid consists of 1, 2, 3. 1 is on the inside, 2 is on the outside of the lane. So 1 is almost like a track and field event. You're on the inside, and then number 2, he's on the outside. Then 3 is right behind 1, and so on and so forth. So makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Denny Hamlin, we talked about him. He's starting 22nd. I mentioned that before. Bubba Wallace, your guy MR, he's starting 27th. And then also William Byron, he's going for the 3-peat, like I mentioned earlier. He's in a backup car starting 39th.
Ooh.
So
Why is he in the backup car, Keith?
he crashed during qualifying.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Yep. So he's got to use a backup car, which automatically means it hasn't passed the test, all the qualifications. You got to go to the back. I expect him. He's going to have a great backup car. He's going to move up. Will he have a good enough car to win?
Whoa. What'd you just say? He's got a backup car that didn't pass, so he has to go. Say that again.
He crashed his car during qualifying. So when that happens, you have to go to the back of the field. So he's starting 39 of 40. Normally, his car would be a lot better. His car is a lot better than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the team he races for is a huge team. He's going to have the parts and the backup car to race. He's still going to show up with a car, right?
Well, he didn't put in a qualifying time with this accident. How did that work? So he crashed before he completed the qualifying laps?
Yeah, I didn't watch him crash, but he started 39th, so he's in the back for a reason, and that's because he crashed his car. Yeah.
I just want to go a little bit more down this street here, Keith.
Yeah.
So you crash your car in qualifying and you don't put a qualifying time. How do you qualify?
Because there's certain guys that already have the credentials to get in. There's only like
an exemption.
Yeah. I mean, like the main guys that have it's just like qualifying for golf. Like he's already in. It's just where he's going to be slotted, and then there's a certain amount of open spots that all week people be racing and qualifying for to get in.
So a cat that wrecks, but he's already qualified.
Yep.
Why even run qualified laps if you're already in the joint to get a higher slot, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But it seems like them wrecking and them already being guaranteed is taking a slot away from a hard-working new person or, someone that's really busting their ass to try to
but Jack, think about this. This is a drafting track. They're going to be going 208 mile an hour. When you're in the back, you're more susceptible to those crashes in front of you and you being a participant in those crashes, right? You want to be up near the front as much as possible. That puts an emphasis on qualifying as well as you can. It takes you out of the mess. There's going to be huge crashes today. There's desperate people. One of your better known drivers is going to approach this race and be more patient than a guy that just made it qualifying. He's going to be more desperate. He's going to take more chances. He's going to make more mistakes, and that's going to cause a big wreck. And you don't want to be in the back getting washed out in a big wreck if you can help it.
No doubt.
If I know my racing the way I think I do, the other thing is too, some of these teams that qualify in the back of the field, they qualify and they'll be on the track for a short period of time. They don't always finish the race because of money and that part of it as well. They can't afford to go the full 500 laps. Is that a misnomer by me?
That's a they can't afford, like, they don't have the analytics, some of the data. They don't have as good of equipment. You know, there is so much testing. You know, it takes money to test. You know, it takes money to load up all your people and all your electronics and all your race cars and take to Daytona for weeks on end to fine tune things. So when you can hit the ground running this week. Some people are showing up. These lesser teams are showing up this week trying to figure it out, watching what other teams are doing. Let's try to do something similar and stay competitive, right? Because I mean, I forgot what the purse is, but I mean, it's just going up and up and up every year. Mm-hmm. You know. So that's a great question.
Good info, Keith. Good info.
Great question.
All right, so here we go. Our drive time family has jumped in the comments. So, when we were talking about parents, speaking of parents, 2 more parent ejections for yelling at other team kids. So done with this season. Showtime jumps in. Good afternoon, boys. Very pumped for the 500. Sir, give us your picks if you're still around, or if you want to jump in with us and give us your picks, do that. That might be even better. I'll send you. Gosh, we gotta get her. Does anybody have Sarah's info? Because I can send her a link. I'll maybe send it to her DM or whatever. You can make a ton of money betting on overtime.
Let me try to pull her in for you,
because it'll happen. Yeah, I think overtime for sure is going to happen. I think because we have to get this race in a certain amount of time, because of the weather, we're going to have to do something. That's the funny part about it. And then I start wondering, or the questions become, when the NFL tries to take over this weekend, because it's going to happen, does NASCAR go to a 12 p.m. start, period? Or do they try to hold out? Because we know the Super Bowl is coming this weekend.
Yeah.
And the NBA and NASCAR are going to have to figure out how to survive going forward. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think that's a great poll and a great thought. I don't hate the idea of trying to find the sweet spot of the early afternoon of Super Bowl Sunday for the Daytona 500. I think there's a story to be told there. Obviously, people are out doing things, and I think the NASCAR, diehards would be in. Would it be best for ancillary eyeballs? I'm not sure. Maybe they may have to move this race a week after the Super Bowl, like it sits currently. So
right.
I'm open to both. Depends on how they package it and present it. I wouldn't hate Super Bowl Sunday matinee, if you will.
Well, let's get the old guy up to speed. I've been busy this week. I did not hear why Super Bowl is being bumped to the second week of February, in which could be screwing up people's Valentine's days and whatnot. Why did that happen?
I mean, the schedule just so happens that next season, Valentine's Day falls on Super Bowl Sunday. It's not anything they moved or anything like that. It's just because you have that week in between, and because you have that extra week, the way you had the wild card and things set up, it just kind of just naturally falls in this place. So that's how we end up here in this space. But I think this is a debut. I think this is the first. Yes, let's bring on Showtime Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Morning. Afternoon.
Afternoon, yes. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking a few minutes. Give us some.
Yeah, I had my last day at work yesterday, so I get a couple of days off before I start another job. Instead of Bojangles, it's going to be Olive Garden, so I'll have some Olive Garden stories now.
Breast sticks.
Yeah, breast sticks for everybody.
So, Tom,
Now-
tell us about your sort of early Daytona memory, if you don't mind. Like when you hear about Daytona 500s coming, what pops in your head?
So my stepdad actually got me into the sport. I was first a Harvick fan. So obviously he's retired. So like the past 2 years have been like kind of me trying to figure out who I like. My favorite really has been Byron. I know that sounds basic, but I mean he's good, and I don't know, like I just like the way he races. So I've kind of been on the Byron side. So I would love to say that Byron's going to pull out and win the Daytona 500, but I know Kyle Busch has the pole, which I don't like that because I don't like I hate Kyle Busch. But I don't like he's such an asshole. Like but I guess some people like that character out of him. I need to actually look at like the entire poll. I just know that Kyle Busch has the start of it. But
You can ask Kitty Cat. He might know the poll.
So Logano's second, McDowell's third, Tyler Reddick is fourth, Christopher Bell, who I like today, is fifth.
yeah,
Ty Gibbs looks like he's sixth, then Larson, Byron, Cindric, and Elliott.
Wow.
Okay.
And Elliott, you mean Chase?
Chase Elliott, yes.
Chase Elliott.
Look, I'm just trying to get the names right.
Guys, real quick, she mentioned Byron. Real quick, you guys might not know. You may or may not know this.
Mm-hmm.
He started racing on a video game. That's how he didn't come up racing as a kid. Like they do go-karts and then sprinter cars and then the step up. He came from playing video games, then got on a simulator and got recognized, then got into the car later in age, which is a very unique path.
Who else learned how to play their sport by video games there, Keith?
I do not know. You have to help me with that.
Brad Craddock learned how to play football by playing Madden.
That's right.
He was an Australian rules football player, and he never played American football. He played Madden to learn the game.
There we go. So let's get into some predictions here. Who wants to go first?
MR.
Sounds like you're first, MR.
If he's not going to come off mute,
Mute monster. I'm sorry. No, we start with the guests. So we go Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay, so you're setting me up. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
He's throwing the torch.
And what we'll do is we'll give you 3 drivers. We'll get 3 drivers for everybody. That way you ain't gotta be perfect.
Okay. Well, it goes by stages. So the thing is, the weather is not looking great today too. So I'm assuming there's going to be a couple weather delays as well. So I know it sounds crazy, but like the weather obviously does have an effect with it. If they have certain, cautions and then they have to delay the game, like it messes with the driver's mind. It takes a while for them to. So there's a lot to think about, like, of what the impacts could be. I would say, like, going by stage 1, it's still going to be, like, your top 10, like, what you got in your top 10, like, probably either Busch, I would say Hamlin, Larson, or Elliott, Logano. They're obviously in the running to win the first stages. But then going into the second and third stage, depending on the delays and everything, I'm assuming, obviously, that would move around depending on what. Because, I mean, there's going to be the big crash. It's the Daytona 500. It happens every single year. I think the biggest one I remember was, oh my God, who was it? It was, oh my God, who was, I can't even remember the year of it, but I think it was, I can't even remember his name, but I think it was the Priest where Priest got hurt. Was it Priest or no? Which one am I thinking about? Anyways, but, no, like I would say definitely anything top 10, and then I don't know. You can make an argument for literally, because I mean it's a Daytona 500. Anything can happen. I would love Byron to push it up a little bit. Hopefully he's in the front running in the final laps. Of course, sometimes it's best to sandbag it because like you need to wait for that big crash to happen so you can get up front. But I would say with Busch getting the pole, it definitely benefits him if he can keep it consistent the entire race. He's got a good chance of winning the 500. And then just like again, your classic, you got Logano. I would say Alex Bowman's also up there, Hamlin, those kind of guys. So it could really go either way. I want Byron, but I could say Busch, Larson, and Logano are probably your other choices.
Your official pick is because
Oh,
you gave me like seven.
You gave me
names.
you told me 3 drivers.
Give me 3.
That sounded like 20 to me.
I couldn't
Okay,
even
wait.
anything happens. I could like.
What's your 3? Just give me your 3.
Okay. Byron, Busch, and Elliott.
Damn.
Byron, Busch, and Elliott. Who
right.
wants to go next?
I'll go next since she named 2 of mine, so I might as well follow her. I got Busch and Byron, and I want to see if Joey Logano can steep up there today. Let's see what
Okay.
Joey Logano can do. What cars he run now, guys?
I think he still runs the 22 car, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
is that
The
who's the
Pennzoil.
sponsors on it? Pennzoil?
Pennzoil.
Got you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I see. I mean, Kyle Busch, just because I like Kyle Busch. And I do think the weather is going to have something to do with it, as Sarah mentioned. I mean, first of all, you got to set the right tires in place. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to have the right tune in there. And then you just got to worry about the car's handling. So there's a lot of adjustments need to be made when weather's coming before these events and during these events. And
Bingo.
everything I believe I mentioned is very important. The tires, the tune, and the handling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got.
Sometimes you have a
MR.
good car, sometimes you have a bad car.
All right.
So, do I go next, Keith, or do you go?
You go. Yeah, you're up. I'm back clean up here.
Okay. All right. So, I got my number 1 is Denny Hamlin, just because of the story and because of everything that's going on. 2, when we come to this time of year, I still love the 3 car, no matter how we do it. So I got Austin Dillon at 2 and 3, just because even though I'm not a big Michael Jordan fan, but I would love to see Bubba Wallace on this big stage, accepting this trophy in this situation. So that's my 1, 2, 3.
Really good picks. I like how you did that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on the Hamlin train. He's my guy. I'd love to see him win this race. I think you'd see just some incredible emotion come through if that happened to happen. I don't think he has the best car. He's gonna, I think I'm not gonna pick too many old guys here because I want to have a little bit of long shots, but I think experience today, like Sarah mentioned, because of the weather, saving your fuel, saving your tires, like you said, Jack, are going to be paramount today, without question. Temperature is going to drop. That changes everything. My second pick is going to be another driver that drives for Joe Gibbs, and his name is Christopher Bell. He's an excellent, well-rounded driver. Doesn't win a bunch of races, but he's always in the mix there at the end. He's got great equipment, obviously running for Gibbs. So I like him. Pay attention to him today. And my last driver is a guy by the name of Carson Hocevar. He is just an absolute madman on the racetrack. He's kind of like the younger Chastain. If you guys remember, he's Chastain's racing today, but he just kind of has that don't give a shit approach. He races for a company called Spire Motorsports, so they're a little bit of a lower level, mid-tier driving outfit, but he can drive the wheels off a car, and he is not scared. He'll screw up the draft. He'll go low under the collar, if you will, and beat you that way. He'll whatever it takes to win. So I expect him to be aggressive and be in the mix all day long.
Go back to what you just said. You said something about under the collar.
Yeah.
I like to break terms down so people understand what we talk about when we do this.
This racetrack has up to 45-degree angles to it on the actual racing surface itself. When you go down into inside the white line, you know, in the median, if you will, it's flat, but it's an abrupt change to your car. Like you have to drive it, and their car has to, you know, you're risking potential damage to your car, and you could slow it down as well. So it's a really aggressive, bold move. The timing where you try to pull something like that off, that usually happens late in the race or stage points, like Sarah mentioned, are important. You might see that in the last 2 or 3 laps of a stage race where someone's trying to get some stage points, because it's a long season. It's a 36-week NASCAR season. You know, every Sunday this train will roll on. So there you go.
You asked a question when we started this, and I don't think Sarah was in with us. But when you think of the Daytona 500, Sarah, like, who are the drivers you think of before we get out of here? Because we're supposed to be on an hour time limit.
Boss is not gonna be happy. Boss man.
I mean, just with what I've watched, it's kind of like all the guys that I have mentioned earlier, like Hamlin, Logano, Elliott.
Okay. I think we lost her because
we did. We did.
Back?
There you go.
Okay. I'm still kind of new. I mean, it's been like maybe about like 5 years where I've been in a NASCAR. But just a lot of it just comes to being like with the names I did mention earlier, like with Logano, Elliott, Hamlin, Kozlowski, the Busch brothers. There's just a lot, like, where it kind of like, I mean, Harvick was one of them too, obviously, that I watched. I will say it will be like, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be kind of cool to see the 16 car win, just because with everything that's gone on, because I mean, that's the Greg Biffle car. They even got the number, I think, to look like the 16. So I think it's AJ Allmendinger. It would be kind of cool. Crazy name, by the way, but it would be kind of cool to see if AJ does pull it off. Just like,
but AJ's always been in the periphery. Like, you always thought he could do it, and he just hasn't had that big win.
Yeah. I mean, I remember him, I think he's still kind of new into like NASCAR, because I remember him mostly from Xfinity. I think it's like maybe like his second year in NASCAR. I don't know. I'm actually, but I remember him more so for Xfinity. Which wait, who won the Keith? Who won the Xfinity? I didn't see.
I think it was another Dylan. I think.
Oh.
Todd Dillon.
Let me look it up.
Or Chase Dillon, something like that. Real quick on the Boss Man segment.
Oh, it was Austin Hill. Sorry, I got the Austin Hill.
Okay. DJ says, Joe the fan question. I know what he means here. What traits stand out for a driver that excels at a super speedway?
Drafting. Well, you need speed, right? So you have to have the top end speed, because you're going to be in the foot's going to be on the gas a lot. Like, you're not. It's not as much braking happens at Daytona, and then you got to be able to draft well, and that's just not behind each other. Someone in front of you draft. It's also side drafting. So there's strategy there. There's feel there. When you get outside of someone's draft and you change the dynamics for their car, one, you got to have the timing to keep your car together to do that, to get out of the draft. And then if someone's doing that to you, you need to be able to keep your car together as well. So it goes twofold. So I would say top end speed, number one paramount thing you need. But secondly, you need to understand draft and side draft. Hopefully that answers Boss Man's question.
No, because I figure, like, I think that's why we get the big crashes, because we are linked up for a lot of the race. So the second somebody gets out of the mix, that's where the big crashes happen. That's why we have the big crashes, and we have the delays and everything else. That is
composure.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to add? We are at the final part of this show, where we talk about, when we wrap it up first. So let's wrap up first. This is any topic, anything. Like, if Sarah wants to talk about her hate for one of the Kachucks,
or the hair flip.
or a hair flip. Yes, we got time for that.
It's been
So
composed today. I haven't done it as much. My hair is
I don't
drying.
know about that.
Okay, but like it's drying. Now I'm doing it because I'm aware, but
that's why we love
Like
it.
my
That's why we about it. But no.
Yeah,
So like real quick, anything, and it doesn't have to be a sport we're talking about. It could be Olympics, it could be anything. Just something to wrap up the show before we get out of here.
well, I mean, tomorrow I'll be hosting the show, 5:00. I think Keith, you're joining me for the Daytona.
I'll be on.
segment?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Scooter, I think it's Scooter and Matty Ice are going to be, I think maybe like a last minute kind of thing. Maybe Scooter might be late, so it might be a solo show. I don't know. But obviously Daytona, Olympics, got to talk about the hockey because a lot of that's coming up. Finalizing crazy games that have happened, by the way. And then it's just
Talk about ice skating.
That one is one that I'm gonna have to talk about. But my dad has a different perspective of it, so hopefully I level it down a little bit. So, but no, there's definitely so much to talk about. I'm still trying to figure out the exact agenda, but obviously Daytona and Olympics are the number 2 or the top 2.
Right.
Keith?
Okay.
All right. So today is the penalty for my fantasy football league in my neighborhood. So one of my neighbors has to dress up and wear a tutu. Okay. And we're going to be all out in front of his house at 1 p.m. So that's just about 23 minutes from now. All right.
Man.
And then we're going to the local watering hole right up the street, just a mile away. And we go into the bar and he has to buy everyone a bar, the other 11 of us a beer at the bar. There'll be other patrons in there. This is like the 5th or 6th year we've done this. It's absolutely hilarious. And I can't wait because it ain't me and the tutu.
Why is he being punished? Last place finish,
very last place. So he's the toilet bowl winner, if you will. I should have said that in our league. So this is just to die for, to see one of your neighbors.
Yeah, man.
Normally he's just walking his dog or whatever, but he's gonna look a little bit different today. So
that's sweet. That's sweet.
I can't wait. But that's what I've got.
Pictures are a must.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't want too much of that out there, but yeah, pictures will happen. There will be pictures.
Jack, what you got?
All right. Well, that humor was on point. What I'm talking about, I'm going to baseball. You had some big news this week on the college side of the game. Senior first baseman over at Baylor, Tice Armstrong. This guy hit 3 grand slams in one game.
Yes, sir.
3 grand slams, 12 RBIs, one game. I'm like, wow, that's something. Next thing you know, it's like, yeah, but he ain't the first person to do it. I'm like, get out of here. Yeah, guy out of Louisville named Jim LaFontaine in 1976. He hit 3 grand slams in one game. The funny thing about what Mr. LaFontaine did, he hit 2 grand slams in one inning. So just checking that out and seeing him out there in the Baylor yellow and green. I mean, he has a swing. He looked a little bit like Pete Alonso to me out there. He hit 2 of the shots in the same vicinity, man. Boom, boom. And I think he ended up 3 for 4 with 12 RBIs. It was an amazing game by the young man. So I wanted to give that little bit of shout out, Midnight Rider.
So my shout out is to the person in the bottom corner.
I'm not down there.
No, you're not in the bottom corner, Jack. It's Sarah.
Oh.
I wanted to say that when you started this journey, like I appreciate the growth that you've had and you've gained in doing this. Even to the point where tomorrow you might host a show. We got to make sure your internet ain't too janky.
Yeah.
And we leave Keith solo, but no, I really want to tell you, like, I appreciate, because you came along with your dad and you jumped in, and this wasn't maybe the thing you I think you love sports. I know you love sports, but I want to just say we appreciate you being here with us as a network because you provide a totally different perspective. So from one junkie to another junkie, because you are a junkie, I just want to say thank you and we appreciate you. And after
Ditto.
that, we gotta go with what you eating. So lo and behold, people tell me what is on your menu for this evening before we get out of here. And we can start anywhere.
Sarah's first.
I haven't even eaten anything yet. I looked downstairs. Be like, I'll probably snack during the 500 though for sure. Because that's gonna be a long one. I just looked at the radar. It looks like nothing's gonna hit until 6, but I don't think they're gonna finish before 6. It's gonna be a long race. But no, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Maybe like a sandwich or something. Chips.
Okay. Keith, what you
What's a
eating?
Daytona 500 meal?
So I'm gonna be at the bar here this afternoon watching the race.
I'm coming up there. I want to see the
All
chicken.
that. It's called the Lodge. It's the Lodge in Bel Air, Maryland. They have unbelievable wings called Smoky Mountain Wings. It's kind of like a bourbon wings. And I got my eyes on there. I've been thinking about them all day. So the correspondent's going with Smoky Mountain Wings there at the Lodge. I ain't moving a muscle today because it's fairways and race day today.
Yep.
So let's do it.
That's what he says. Fairways and race days. I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm gonna be in and out on the 500 because to me, I like the first 10 laps and the last 10 laps. That's about all the NASCAR dude I am. I'm sorry. Left turn, Clyde. Left turn. I'm gonna probably get back into some college hoops. I'm watching Maryland Rutgers right now. We're gonna be having some chili and cornbread, and I'm asking her to make the cornbread with the cream corn in it. I kind of like that. Not just the box or the blue box of cornbread. Add some hookup in there, and yeah, that usually stretches a couple of days. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some chili this evening over here in the car house.
So there's a local place called Chickalicious.
Oh yeah.
They sponsor or they do their thing in terms of chicken tenders and fries. So last night I got a 2-for-1. So more than likely 7-piece chicken tenders special. That was my 2-for-1. So more than likely I'll be eating 3.5 chicken tenders for lunch and 3.5 for dinner. But I will reheat them in the oven because this is not a microwave. Because they do the original cut fries, so you can't have original cut fries with a microwave situation. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do today. And even in the worst case scenario, I might do it as a sandwich for dinner. Like throw everything on a hamburger bun and let things live. So with that being said, we got one more comment that just jumped in. Oh, I got Ant. It says, yo.
Where you been, young? Where you been, Ant?
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
they're throwing gang signs at me.
This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. This is the Sunday Rise. For Showtime Sarah, for the correspondent, for the Gentleman Jack, for the Midnight Rider, we're gonna get out of here. I'm not gonna lie to you because we did some overtime. I didn't think we was gonna make it this long.
I didn't think we had overtime.
Hey, well, we do. So we do what we do. When we do what we do. That's all I'm gonna say. And if Sarah says it, I think to win the game, you must win the game. And that's